In today's video, I'm going to be exposing my most played cozy games of all time. Am I embarrassed about what you're about to see? No. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Payton. It is nice to meet you. It is nice to see you, and welcome to the corner. So I cover a lot of cozy games on this YouTube channel. In fact, we just ended 2023 and I closed out 2023 by covering 75 new cozy games on the channel. Now that was a lot, and while I do make sure I play each game long enough to kind of, give you my sense of it when I'm doing a review, let's be honest. What games am I actually playing the most of? Well, today, we are going to expose exactly that. We're gonna count backwards today from my 10th spot to my first spot, not judging these games based off of how much I like them, but going off of the amount of hours I have actually played of the game. Now, today's video was completely inspired by a lovely video Eeowna did. Eeowna is an amazing cozy game content creator here on YouTube and also a streamer on Twitch. I saw her recount her most played games. Her version was on the Nintendo Switch, and I thought it was just such a fun idea, so I thought I would put my little spin on it today. The games included today are going to be both for Nintendo Switch and for PC, as those are the two platforms I have, and they're the ones, of course, I'm playing on. This video isn't going to be this is how many hours I played of the game, boom, done. I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit through why I think I played this many hours of the game, / am I still playing this many hours of the game? And of course, I play games almost every day, so my amount of hours in the game will change on the daily basis. So today's video is the stats as of January, what day is it? 22nd, 2024. These are my current stats. This is what it is. Okay, before we get into it, please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. And if you want to see me play cozy games live, I live stream right here on YouTube several times a week. We'd love to see you to stream. Okay, I will shut up. Let's get into my 10th most played game of all time. Now, I feel like the number of hours is quite low for these first couple ones, because I think you'll notice I tend to really hyper fixate on certain games. So the jump between the last couple games and the first couple games is pretty jarring. But coming in as my 10th most played cozy game is Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos. I've played Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos for about 15 hours. Now, Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos came out at the end of 2023, and I really enjoyed it. In case you're unfamiliar with Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos, this is meant to be the first ever open world Harvest Moon game. After a natural disaster has struck and pretty much separated the entire world, it's your job to reunite all of the towns, all of the villagers, and even all the exotic animals to help them find their way back home. And you do this by utilizing all of the classic farming sim stuff, like farming, cooking, fishing, mining, and of course, there's a little bit of romance if you're into that as well. Now, I actually really enjoyed Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos. I've actually made a couple videos specifically about the game, so if you're interested in checking it out, I will link all of the appropriate streams and videos per game down below, but I really enjoyed this game. I think I played so much of this game because in the month that this game came out, which I believe was in September, there were so many cozy games that were dropping, and I really wanted to do my due diligence to review each of them and compare them to each other. So I definitely knew I wanted to play a significant amount of the game, whether I liked it or not, but truthfully, I did really enjoy this one. Some of the hours I have in the game are definitely from me live streaming it, but I did play this one quite a bit on my own, and it is one I need to get back into. I will say this is one I haven't been gravitating toward so much recently. I really enjoy the open world in the game. It's ginormous. I love finding the animals. It's my favorite part of the game. But I think I gravitate to this one a little bit less than some of my other favorite farm sims, just because you can't really decorate so much in this one. And also the farming is a bit more simple than some of the other games I enjoy. But I really do like exploring this one. I like the character style. I think it has really good vibes and it is a lot of fun. So I'm not surprised it's in the top 10, but I feel like I do want to play a little bit more of it because I definitely haven't even explored many areas of the world yet, and I think that's the whole draw of the game. Coming in at number 9 is another cozy game that came out in September. September was a month for me in cozy gaming. And I'm not surprised this one is on the list because I feel like I was really obsessed with it when it first came out. This game is called Paleo Pines. I've played Paleo Pines for a little bit over 20 hours. In case you're unfamiliar, Paleo Pines is a farming sim where the dinosaurs are center stage. Yes, you heard that right. It's a farming sim all about dinosaurs. Pretty much you have a dinosaur companion called Lucky, who is a super rare dinosaur, and the main story arc of the game is trying to figure out if Lucky is the last of her species, while also acquiring different dinosaurs who will do different tasks on your farm. You can also get to know some NPCs, travel around the world, cook, and do a little bit of decorating. Now, I was obsessed with this game when it first came out. I actually played the demo of this game many months before it dropped for its full release, so I already knew that I enjoyed it. I think the dinosaur premise is super unique, super fun, and I think it's just really cutesy and a vibrant good time. And when it first dropped, I was playing it a lot. I also, once again, knew I was going to make a dedicated review for this game, so whenever I make a dedicated review, I try my best to really experience as much as I can in the world of the game. So the 20 hours I have in Paleo Pines is not surprising because I knew that I wanted to experience a couple of the different locations before I made my review, which again, you could check out. It's linked on all the places. But I have to say, I haven't really been playing Paleo Pines recently. I feel really similar about it than I feel to Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos. I really like the game for what it is, but when I compare it to some of the other farming games I really like, it's just not as complex, and it feels like it is lacking certain elements that I really enjoy, like being able to romance characters, and I do wish there was a little bit more decoration. For me, I really play Paleo Pines for the dinosaurs. I definitely want to get back into this one as well because I haven't gotten to see all of the dinosaurs in the game. I haven't finished the main story arc, and they're always coming out with fun new dinosaur variations, which I think is super cute. For me, this one totally makes sense that it's in my most played games, but lower on the list. It is one that I really played, and then I kind of fell off a little bit, but hope to get back into it soon. Now, number 8 was a shock to me. I thought number 8 would be so much higher up on the list because it feels like I've played so much more of the game than I guess I have. But coming in at number 8, we have Moonstone Island. I've played Moonstone Island for a little bit over 21 hours. In case you're unfamiliar, Moonstone Island is a farming and creature collection game where you are an alchemist in training and you get to visit all of these random, like there's hundreds of them, floating islands in the sky, and you collect these different creatures called spirits. And using card-based battling, you'll be able to acquire new spirits, level them up, and get to progress through the game's main storyline. There's also farming, NPCs to get to know, and really all of the stuff you expect in a farming sim, but then more. I ranked Moonstone Island as one of my favorite games of 2023, and this is still true. But I have to say, I feel like I've played this game so much more than I have played Paleo Pines and Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos, when in reality, I haven't played it that much more than those games. Now, I think that I feel like I've played more of Moonstone Island because maybe I feel like the time I've spent in it, there have been like stuff happening the whole time, where in some of the other games, there's a lot of like, you know, running around and exploring. In this one, I don't know, I guess I feel like there's always stuff happening. Even when I'm traversing the different islands, there's always spirits you run into right away or resources to grab, and it's always a little bit different. I'm so surprised I haven't played as much of Moonstone Island as I thought because I genuinely enjoy it so much. I really like the card-based battling, I really like the spirits. They've already put out so many updates for the game and it hasn't even been out that long. Again, it's another one of those September 2023 games that released. And we've already seen lots of different updates, including new spirits, new decorations. This farming sim I do really enjoy because I think that the farming is a little bit more complex than some of the others that have been on the list already, but it doesn't feel like farming is its main thing. For me, this game is most interesting for the creature collection aspect, whereas there are some other games on the list that I favor as far as the farming goes. This one, farming is good, but I mostly play it for the other stuff, I feel like, and I know I will continue to explore and get deeper and deeper into this game because I genuinely really enjoy it. Coming in at number 7 is the game that kind of inspired today's video a little bit, because this game was not even in my top 10 until this past week, and I played so many hours of it last week that it has shot up to my number 7 spot, and this game is called Cult of the Lamb. I've played Cult of the Lamb for 25 plus hours. In case you're unfamiliar, Cult of the Lamb sees you, a little lamb who has a near-death experience. But instead of dying, you are given the opportunity to live as long as you get to build a successful cult and defeat these scary bishop monster people. You get to run your cult pretty much however you like, using cute little animal followers to do whatever you please, whether that is perform human sacrifices, help decorate your space, farm. You can even make them eat bowls of poop. And Cult of the Lamb just had a huge update, which also added in some spicy elements to the game, where your followers can now have babies with each other. They can run around naked and dance, and they can also get into fist fights. Now, I played Cult of the Lamb back in 2022 when I first started getting into cozy games, and I enjoyed Cult of the Lamb, but I didn't enjoy it insanely, like a whole heck of a lot. This game is a perfect example to me of a game I tested first on live stream, and I had a good time with it, but it wasn't a game until I really sat with it on my own that I felt like I really got to know it and got to appreciate it. And I played so much of it in the past week because I wanted to start a new save file for the brand new update so that I could stream it here on YouTube. And you could see I did stream it on YouTube, so again, click on the links for all the things. And I wanted to start a new save file because I had previously named my cult members after subscribers who had volunteered to be in the cult, and that was fine when we were just, you know, doing our regular cult shenanigans. But now that things had gotten a little bit spicier in the game, I decided I didn't really think that was the most appropriate. So I decided to start a new save file, naming my cult after fast food and restaurant chains instead. And I really got carried away in playing the game up until the update. And now that the update has dropped, I've been playing it more and more. So even though I have 25 hours in the game, I fully expect this to climb up the list even more because story-wise, I still have quite a bit to go in the game. I've only defeated 3 of the bishops. There's a few more, as well as there are a lot of upgrades to my cult that I haven't had yet. This is one of my favorite cozy games that is dark. I think there's a lot of humor in this one, and so it kind of makes me okay with some of the violent, crazy things that are going on, because there is kind of like a lighthearted tone, even when things get a little bit crazy. Coming in at number 6 is another one that's a little surprising to me. Not surprised to see it in the top 10, but surprised to see it higher than some of the other ones on the list. And that game is called Fae Farm. I've played Fae Farm for 30 plus hours. In case you're unfamiliar, Fae Farm is yet another farming sim. Can you tell I play the farming sim games over here? Fae Farm is a farming sim game that's all about fairies and magic. Your character washes up on the magical realm of Azoria, and pretty much you are helping rediscover the magical secrets of the island while farming, getting to know NPCs, and overall it's a very cute and magical time. Now, I'm not surprised to see Fae Farm in the top 10 because I did make a lot of content about the game when it first came out, once again, in September of 2023. I did quite a few live streams playing it, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot more in the beginning of playing it than I will say I've been enjoying it recently. When I first started playing it, I felt like there was such a nice ease to the game, especially compared to some of the other farming sims I'm more used to that are later on this list. I felt like the farming in this one wasn't super complex, but it also wasn't too simple. And I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed how the mining system was. I thought that was so much fun. I think Fae Farm kind of died down for me a little bit just because I don't really love the character interactions. I do feel like the days go by really fast. And I don't know, there's something about it that I just haven't been picking up as much recently. So I will say I have not played Fae Farm pretty recently. I think I booted it up a little bit ago just to check in and see where I was at. But I think I will give it some more chances. I think this is one that I need to play a little bit more on my own because most of my experience with this one has been on live stream. And while I do love live streaming games, like I said before with Cult of the Lamb, I know for myself, sometimes I really need to get to know the game to appreciate it more. And I think I need that a little bit with Fae Farm. I think I gotta get some of the grinding out of the way to kind of get to the good stuff. I haven't really gotten to decorate a whole lot yet. My farm is in shambles, and I do really wish the romance mechanic was stronger in this one. That being said, there are going to be some updates to the game. There's also another DLC that's coming out. So I have higher hopes for Fae Farm. I'm surprised, frankly, I've played it more than I played Moonstone Island, just because I genuinely enjoy Moonstone Island a little bit more. But I also like Fae Farm, so I'm not surprised that it's in the top 10. And this is another one I did a dedicated review on, so I did make sure I played it quite a bit before I formulated my thoughts via review. Coming in at number 5 is a game that I am not shocked to see up here on this list, and this feels like a pretty good spot for it. It's one of my favorite cozy games ever, and it was one of my favorite cozy games of last year. This game is called Sunhaven. I've played Sunhaven for 37 plus hours. Sunhaven is yet another cozy farming sim game. This one's all about magic. Pretty much you move to this place called Sunhaven and there is this dark, mysterious mist creeping in. And it's your job to go along to these different dragons in these different realms and help get to the bottom of what's going on and save Sunhaven. You get to do this while being your own magical creature of choice. You also get to farm, cook, bake, romance, extremely hot characters, fish, all that classic good stuff. And there's also some fun monsters to defeat as well. I really love Sunhaven. I feel like I shout from the void all the time how much I love Sunhaven so much. Sunhaven came out in March of 2023. I did start playing right when it came out. It also was in early access. I didn't get a chance to play it when it was in early access, so it makes sense to me since it came out much earlier than some of these other games that I would have more hours in it. Also, I think I just enjoyed it some more than other games on the list. But I'm surprised I don't have more hours in the game, quite frankly. When I first started playing Sunhaven, I think I was just kind of lukewarm about it. I was just kind of okay about it. But as I got further and further in, I started to really appreciate it more and more. And I think what I really enjoy about Sunhaven is it's kind of overwhelming. It's kind of overwhelming, but in a good way. I feel like when I play Sunhaven, there's never not something to do. I feel like even with the putting the day on the slowest time, which is 40 minutes per day, which is a lot for a farming sim, it still feels like I don't have these moments of, oh God, what do I do now? I still haven't made it through the main storyline. I've been taking my time with it. You can definitely choose to speed right through it, or you can do what I'm doing, which is kind of taking it slow, doing the side quests, trying to make my farm cute, trying to get all of the NPCs to love me. And I really like the aesthetics of this game. It feels like a really big world. Not only can you have a house and a farm in Sunhaven, but the different areas you get to explore, you also get to have another farm and another house, making the design opportunities so large. And I think that's one of my favorite things when it comes to farming sims. So I think that is one of my favorite parts about this game, as well as the romance mechanic I think is great in this one too. I think the options for the romantic interest are so great, and I think the characters are so much fun to get to know. I thought maybe I would have some more hours in Sunhaven, but I know most of the hours are more recent. This is one I am still playing a lot. And I'm definitely playing this one a lot more now because I play it on my Steam Deck. I play it handheld, and I find that I enjoy playing Sunhaven handheld a little bit more than I do sitting at my PC. So since I've been playing it on there, I've definitely racked up some more hours, and I expect to keep doing so. Coming in at number 4, I feel like it's not a shock if you love cozy games, and also if you love cozy farm games, but I'm actually surprised I have as many hours in this game as I do. This game is called Stardew Valley. I've played Stardew Valley for 44 plus hours. Now, if you're not familiar with Stardew Valley, it's pretty much the quintessential cozy farming sim game where your character inherits a farm from your grandfather, you leave your corporate life looking for some more meaning, and you move onto this farm and you run it, and you also get to help out all of the locals, and you pretty much get the choice between helping the local small businesses or contributing to this big corporation. You get to romance different characters, you get to fight your way through the mines, fish, and do all of that classic farming sim stuff. Now, this is not that many hours in Stardew Valley, a game that came out in 2016. I actually haven't played Stardew Valley until a little bit more recently. So I played it for the first time back in 2022, and I say I'm surprised that I have that many hours in the game, even though it's not that many hours in the game, because I have not gotten very far in any save file of Stardew Valley. And I know why. I first started playing Stardew Valley on live stream, and this is yet another example of I didn't appreciate the game as much as I do now, because when I'm live streaming it, sometimes I feel like I'm not paying as much attention, and also, quite frankly, Stardew Valley can be overwhelming, especially because it has such a dedicated fan base. Whenever I live streamed this game in the past and I had no idea what I was doing, this was also one of my first ever farming sim games, so I really had no idea what I was doing. I constantly felt stupid because so many people were telling me I was doing things wrong and I didn't understand or know how to do anything. In a game like Stardew, they don't really give you a whole heck of a lot of tutorial. You kind of just need to figure it out yourself. And it kind of gave me anxious energy whenever I went to stream it. So I had a couple different times where I tried to bring it to my live streams, and each time I would just start a new save file because it had been a gap of time since we played last, and I just never got that far. I've never even gotten past summer in the game, which is of course the second season. So I'm surprised I have 44 hours because I haven't gotten that far in the game, but it makes sense because I've restarted and tried so many times. Now, you Stardew Valley fans will be happy to know the 44 hours is more recently growing because I have started a big Stardew Valley project. I've been playing it by myself, and I've been having a lot of fun with the game, so I expect to see the number of hours I have in Stardew grow exponentially soon. And it makes me feel more confident to bring it back to a live setting when I feel like I'm a little bit further in. And so I'm really excited to see Stardew Valley on the list. I'm glad I've played this many hours of it, but it's not nearly enough, and I want to play it a lot more. Coming in at number 3 is no surprise to me. This was my favorite cozy game release of 2022, which was the first year I started cozy gaming on this YouTube channel. And this game is called OOBLETS. I've played OOBLETS for 60 plus hours. OOBLETS is an adorable creature collection and farming sim game where your character moves to a whimsical town called Badgetown that's kind of a mess and needs your help repairing. Not only do you need to fix up Badgetown by running the local farm, but you also need to help conduct research on these little monster babies called OOBLETS. Not only that, but you need to travel to different areas in the world of Oob to help reconnect all of the different towns and, of course, get to know all of the different OOBLETS. The game features a card-based battling system, but it's dance battles instead of combat, making this game truly feel like a cozy feel-good time. Ooblets was revolutionary to me when I first played it, and I do still enjoy it. But in 2022, I was on the ooblet hype train. The amount of times I've probably uttered the word ooblet in a video is staggering. I've recommended this game so many times. I still recommend this game a lot because I think it is great for a wide audience. I think it's good for a younger audience. I think it's good for older folks as well. I think that it is friendly if you've not played farming sim games, but I think it's also interesting enough if you are used to complex farming sim games. Ooblets, I think, still holds up, but I'm gonna be honest, most of the 60 hours came from my playtime in 2022. Ooblets does have an end of the main story. You can, of course, continue to search for ooblets, and there's a nice amount of ooblets, and there are different variations of each ooblet. Similar to a game like Pokemon, there's also rare versions. So there's like shiny ooblets, they're called gleamy ooblets in ooblets. And so you can spend a lot of time trying to get all of the different ooblets. There isn't a staggering amount where you can rack up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in this game. And while there are NPCs, you can't really get to know them. I think now ooblets is when I pick up here and there. And when I do pick it up, I'm always like, I need to play this more. I forgot how fun this is. But it isn't one that I feel like I could play infinitely just because there's not that much decoration in the game. So after you finish the main story, you're really just left with collecting ooblets, decorating, and vibing. There's cute mini games too, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like one that can continue to go on and on and on and on forever for me. So not surprised to see it in my top 3, and I think the amount of hours totally makes sense. For our final 2 games on the list, you're gonna see quite a bit of a jump between the number of hours I've played in these games. Coming in second place, this is of zero surprise to me, is Coral Island. I've played Coral Island for 240 plus hours. Coral Island is a farming sim game where you move to a beautiful island that's been tragically hit by an oil spill. It's your job to not only run the farm, but get to dive through the ocean to clean it up and hopefully reveal the merfolk kingdom. You also get to experience various other levels of magic through the town. You get to know different NPCs who are wildly hot and attractive, and all of them have really interesting backstories as well, with each character providing a wide amount of cutscenes. And there's also a lot of decoration and some pretty complex farming mechanics. Now, it is not surprising to me that I have this many hours in Coral Island. I have been playing Coral Island since day 1 of early access, which came out in 2022, and even though I did take breaks here and there, I did play pretty consistently up until its 1.0 release, which just happened in November. And then in November, I decided to make a I played 100 days of Coral Island video, which of course added quite a significant number of hours to my overall playtime. And since then, I have pretty much been fixating on Coral Island very heavily. It is not only one of my games that I regularly play on my own, but it's also one of the games I regularly stream on this channel, usually playing it at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times. I like Coral Island for so many reasons. I really love the characters mostly though. I think they're so fun to get to know. So even though right now I have kind of finished most of the main story, I put that in quotations because there's actually a lot more story content that is going to be coming out via later updates. But even though I've finished kind of the main story right now, there are so many things I haven't done because there are so many upgrades to make to your farm, there is so much decoration to unlock, and your farm is ginormous. The farming is quite complex too, I feel like there's a lot of machines and stuff you get to utilize, which is nice. And I just feel like there's a lot to do. I have been playing slightly less more recently, even though I'm still really into it, just because I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm feeling like things are getting a little repetitive, but I think that's just because I'm patiently awaiting more content. Regardless, I do genuinely enjoy Coral Island so very much, and I'm not surprised to have this many hours in the game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see me get a lot more hours in as well. And finally, with a massive, massive jump, in first position we have Animal Crossing New Horizons. I have played Animal Crossing New Horizons 2,435 hours, which is just shy of 2,500 total hours. Oh my goodness, that is an embarrassing amount of hours, but it makes total sense. In case you're unfamiliar, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game where you move to a deserted island, and it's your job to completely build up the island however you like. You get to invite animal villagers, some of which are cute, some of which are not so cute, to live on your island, and you get to decorate it however you want. You also get to utilize terraforming, which has you change the cliffs and the water features around the island. And even though there is a main storyline that features a naked dog coming to play a concert at the island, the main story finishes rather quickly, and the game becomes mostly just about decorating and hanging out with your villagers. And I've done quite a bit of that. In fact, this YouTube channel started as an Animal Crossing New Horizons channel. I enjoyed playing the game and decorating that much that I thought I would just do that forever. And when Animal Crossing came out with the Happy Home Paradise DLC, which has you decorate vacation homes for all of the 300 plus villagers in the game, it's safe to say I got even more invested. So when I first started this channel, I was doing a lot of design stuff, and I was building really intricate islands, and I had the time of my life making fun Animal Crossing islands. Now, I think a lot of Animal Crossing fans definitely can relate to having that many hours because it's really open for creativity. Like, there are genuinely so many items in the game. So, although I've done other things while playing, most of those hours were spent decorating, terraforming, making paths, and just trying to make my island look however I wanted it to look. And I will say most of the hours came from 2020 when Animal Crossing first came out and we were still in the middle of the COVID shutdown. I had a lot of time on my hands and I was playing this game a lot. I stopped playing Animal Crossing last year. I didn't really play it that much at all because I kind of was bored of it. I feel like after I made so many islands, I kind of just like lost interest for a little bit of time. But I was feeling really nostalgic, so it's actually something I started playing again quite recently. I started a brand new island on the channel. We've been streaming it. It's got a fun theme, which is what keeps me interested. It's a zombie cottagecore theme. So I keep myself interested by doing like weird themes that I don't see done that often. And I am excited to be playing Animal Crossing again. I'm not sure that I'll be racking up another 1,000 hours in the game, quite frankly. I think I've really hit my peak with how much I want to play Animal Crossing, but I am glad that I am picking it up again because it really has become so much of my gaming experience. I mean, look how much I've played this game compared to all of the other games on the list. You can definitely tell that I have a really big heart for it. And of course, that's where my content creation journey started. So I'm really glad and happy to have it be my #1 spot. And there you have it. Those were my top 10 most played cozy games. But I want to know your thoughts down below. What are your most played cozy games? I want to know the hours. Reveal yourself to me in the comments. I gotta know. I don't want to feel alone with my cozy gaming habits. Let me know. I definitely feel like across the board, I could have more hours in all of these games. I just feel like because I cover so many games, sometimes it's hard for me to really like stick with one and dive in. But I want to make that more of a priority in 2024, so we'll see if I can stick to it. Please be sure to click the lovely little like button on your way out, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!